Okay, here's the plan. We're gonna make some fancy pants cocktails, but instead of making them in a shaker or directly in the glass, I'm gonna make them into a tiny little still. And then we're gonna distill them and see what happens. How's it going, chasers? I hope you're having a kick-ass week. I'm Jesse, this is Still It, and I am supposed to be making absinthe right now, but somebody, you lot, bought up all of our aniseed, and I wasn't onto it enough to know that there was no aniseed, and now I'm not making absinthe. So we've ordered more. Apologies for all of the out-of-stock stuff going on, team. We have systems in place to make that better. But, so instead of distilling absinthe, we've got another episode of Meme Spirits coming up. If you don't know what that is, I put random stuff into that little still along with some alcohol. We distill it and see what happens. Why? Because it teaches me a whole lot about what flavors carry over through distillation, what they taste like after distillation, strange flavor pairings, and maybe, just maybe, every now and again, it gives me really cool inspiration to make something that's actually awesome later on down the track. Let's get stuck in. All right, team, the first cocktail we're gonna make is called a Dragon's Tail. Is this actually a real cocktail or just in this little book? I don't know, but it actually sounds kind of delicious. It's rye whiskey, Szechuan, lemon, and walnut bitters, basically. So let's get stuck in. First of all, this calls for 60 mils or 2 ounces of rye whiskey. So I made this rye whiskey myself. I'll put links in the video description down below for all of these spirits I use. I have never distilled something this small in this pot still. So we're gonna go small. I don't want to waste heaps of ingredients doing this because it is a little bit off the wall. So let's do 3 times the cocktail, which is gonna be, what is that? 180 mils of alcohol, which is honestly just enough to cover the bottom of the pot. Next up, Szechuan syrup. And this is the reason I picked this, this cocktail, because the idea of Szechuan, ooh, yum, syrup in a cocktail, that kind of tickles my fancy. Anyway, we need 60 mils of this for 3 cocktails. 30. 60. That's delicious, but honestly it tastes more like cinnamon, yeah, cinnamon than Szechuan. That might be something I have to remake and, you know, do it a little bit better, maybe is the word for it? I don't know, we'll see. Next up, 30 mils of lemon oleocitrate. I didn't know what this is. I did a quick Google. Apparently it is just kind of a stand-in for fresh lemon juice that's a little bit more shelf-stable, apparently. So let's get some of that in there. Last but not least is 2 dashes of the walnut bitters per cocktail. So that's 6 in total. 4, 5, 6. Wow, that actually does smell quite delicious. This is a bad idea, isn't it, to taste this by itself? Oh no, okay, yeah, it's not that bad. Just really tastes like walnut. Gonna be very interested to see if that comes through. You know what? I really want to know if walnut comes through. And seeing as this is a fact-finding mission, not a make something delicious mission, more flavor equal more good, right? All right, let me get the pot turned on and we're gonna start that warming up because there's one last thing I need to add to this. And I'm actually going off recipe here because what I was supposed to do is infuse the rye whiskey with hibiscus tea at the beginning. Didn't do that. I'm just gonna warm the still up. Oh, it's a tea bag. Goodbye tea bag. I'm just gonna warm the still up, pop this in here, turn the still off, and let it macerate for about 15 minutes. That's gonna brew it way more than, you know, 30 minutes steeping at room temperature. I've never made my own bitters. I've always flirted with the idea of it and I've yet to do it. So if you have any really dope bitters recipes, or you just really want to see me make bitters, Drop it in the comment section down below. I've always kind of wanted an excuse to do that. All right. So obviously this isn't the most attractive cocktail in the world right now. Loose leaf tea all through it. Warm, no ice, so on and so forth. But I've got to try it. Dang, that's actually really good. Wow, okay. Szechuan, walnut, and rye whiskey. That is a really cool flavor combination. I don't know if I've tasted anything quite like that before. Yeah, very interested to see if it tastes like that when it comes out. So let's get this back up to temperature. About 50 degrees Celsius should do it. We'll let it sit for 15 minutes, and this will be the quickest distillation I've ever done. I'm guessing most of you guys know that we have an online store, which is chasethecraft.com. Aaron literally packs packages from here for Australia and New Zealand mostly, and we have a warehouse over in America that services that side of the world. And there's three things that I need to tell you about or catch you up on real quick. Number one, if you go to chasethecraft.com, there's a little thing in the bottom left corner. If you click on that or go to it when it pops up. If you decide to sign up to the newsletter, you can get one of these hat pins for free next time you buy anything, or to be honest, if you just want to pay shipping for a free pin, you can do that as well. I've been meaning to put one on this hat for ages, but they're these little hat pin kind of things. There we go. That will work regardless of whether you're shopping the New Zealand store or the American store. Now, if you're in America and you go to equipment, accessories, you're going to start noticing a bunch of new stuff popping up. Unfortunately, sorry for the people in Australia and New Zealand, we can't get this stuff here yet. We're going to be working on it in America. It's easier to source products there, and then when we can, we'll get stuff over to New Zealand. And third, if you're missing out on that stuff because you're in New Zealand or Australia, hold on, I've got something to show you. This is yellow label yeast, and unfortunately there was an issue between the supplier's supplier and the supplier, and they've had a few cartons of this go completely out of date, and instead of just throwing it away, I decided to test it, and the two packages that I opened worked totally fine. And the supplier was awesome enough to say, hey Jesse, if you can give these away, go for it, give them away for free. So there's a code in the description down below. It's Old Yeast, no spaces. You just need to spend $35 on chasethecraft.com. Find this yeast, this specific yeast. It has the big expired thing on the website. Put one of those in the cart as well, and then use Old Yeast as the code at checkout, and it'll change this down to $0 for you. Sorry if you shop the American store, they're only in New Zealand, sorry team. But if you are in New Zealand and you've been thinking about trying the stuff out, it's worth a gamble. Can't guarantee that it'll work. Test it first. It'll probably be fine. All right, team, we're up and running. I don't even know if I'm going to take heads out of this. I'm going to take a teeny tiny weeny bit. Done. So if you guys haven't redistilled a pot stilled product before, like the whole point in pot stilling is to kind of flirt with those edges of, in my mind anyway, those edges of heads and tails, and kind of smear flavor throughout the run to get you more flavor in the final product, which is awesome when we're making something like this. But when you redistill it, it kind of compresses all of that smearing up to the top and down to the bottom. So taking a small cut again can kind of help out when we're making a white spirit like this. When I'm making something like gin and using a vodka to put into here that's already been reflux distilled and really tight cuts made at both ends, you really don't need to do that. Wow, okay, that's really interesting. That's fun. All right, so the plan here, team, is to make 3 different cocktails like this. We'll line them all up at the end, and I haven't checked with Erin if she's free or not, but if she is, we'll get her to come in and taste them, and we'll tell you how everything is going. All right, we're done. We're done, I think. Are we? I've turned it off. Yeah, we're starting to head towards tails, so we'll cut it there. I've just realized that I don't think there's actually even Szechuan pepper in the Szechuan sauce. There's pink peppercorns, and there's Sancho peppercorns. Sancho peppercorns, which a quick Googling tells me are related to Szechuan, but are not actually Szechuan. Anyway, Wow. Okay, I'm going to put this with this, so remember what's what. On to our next cocktail, which is going to be using an Irish whiskey. Once again, something I made in the past. This is probably actually ready to bottle, to be honest, but that's a story for another day. Now, the cocktail is called the Gaelic Garden. All of these cocktails are coming out of these little books. They come in a shaker and spoon box. It's actually kind of a cool idea. There is 3 cocktails and enough stuff for, is it 3 or 4 cocktails of each? And they all use the same spirit. So if you want to go out and buy spirits, you can make pretty dope cocktails, but only buy 1 bottle of booze, which is always the worst part about cocktails, right? You need, this isn't sponsored. They don't even know we're making this video. There is affiliate links down there. If you want to check them out, go for gold. I've got no dog in this fight. I really don't care. But I thought it would make a cool video. Anyway, let's make this cocktail. This is actually calling for slightly less booze. It's only 1.5 ounces. What's that? Like 45 mils each, I think. I'm actually going to stick with the 60 mils for each, so 180 mils in total, because we got so little booze out of that last one. And because of, I'm guessing, the coconut water is going to proof this down a little bit more than the last one. We might be at the point where we don't really get anything out the other end. So I'm taking a little bit of creative liberty here. We'll see how we go. All right, now rose petal sugar. Is this actually going to taste like anything? Oh, wow. Wow, it really does. Oh, there's actually like actual chunks of rose petal in here. So I don't know. This is supposed to go around the rim of the glass, but I guess we'll just add some of that in there. Exactly that amount, I guess. Coconut water. This is the reason I chose this cocktail out of the Irish cocktail box. I'm really interested to see if we get any of this flavor coming through at the end. I think we might just do 90. Like I said, I'm a little bit worried about proofing this down too much and then not getting kind of the level of distillation we want from this. So we'll take it down to 90 mils instead of 120. I guess I can drink the rest of that. Sunny rose syrup. What are you? Filtered water, cane sugar, lemon juice, lemon peel, and rose petals. Okay. Very pleasant. Very subtle. Well, honestly, I don't know if that's going to carry through, but we need 45. So 30, 45. There we go. Lavender bitters. Are we going to do the same thing here? Like more flavor, more good? Let's do the 3 to start with. So that's what the recipe calls for. Oh, wow. Okay. That's pretty punchy compared to the other ingredients. I think I'm just going to put 1 extra and we leave it at that. I'm shooting from the hip here, but I'm also a little bit dubious about the lavender flavor. Like, there's something about it that makes me think it's going to taste like soap when you distill it. I don't know. We'll see. And lemon oil. It says 1 to 2 spritzes. I mean, that is 2 spritzes per? I don't know. Wow, wow. Okay, you know what? We have to taste this one again as well, team. You know it. Dude, okay. So it's kind of the opposite of the last one. The last one kind of reminded me of an old fashioned, like real punchy, full of flavor, in your face. This, especially when it's with ice, would be quite refreshing and light and subtle, aromatic. Wow, that's really good. Plug her in, turn it on, get a collection jar underneath there. We're good to wait around until we get drips. So we have drips. I've taken a little bit already. Whoa. Okay, that's bizarre. I'm going to call that enough. That is intense, but I don't think it's a heads thing. Wow, that's gotten really freaking syrupy. Are we in? I'm going to call that there. Awesome. All right, cocktail number 2, done. Let's move on to the 3rd. You guys know the drill by now. Slight change with this one. This is supposedly a tequila cocktail. I don't have any homemade tequila because, well, it's damn near impossible for us to get the raw materials here. If anyone can help us out with that, let us know. What I do have, oh, I'm dribbling, is a spirit I made with kumara, New Zealand sweet potato. And there's kind of a strange resemblance, at least in my mind, to tequila. Now, this is calling for, once again, we're making 3 cocktails in the pot here. 180 mils, that is 120. I'm gonna do mostly this, and I'm gonna doctor it with a little smoky mezcal. I don't wanna put too much smoke in here and like totally change up the recipe, but it seems right to put a little bit of something slightly closer, at least, to what the recipe's calling for. Yeah, that's probably about right. Yum. I haven't tried that in a while. Really good. 15 mils of jasmine oolong tea syrup. Huh? That's nice. Pretty tame in flavor compared to some of the other syrups we've been using. 15 mils of super lemon lime juice. Super lemon lime juice. In the pot. And I'm a muppet. I realize we're tripling the recipe. 2 more of those. And the same for the jasmine. 12 dashes of coriander bitters, my word. I think we're just gonna do the whole bottle, honestly. By the time we get around to doing 12, that's gonna be most of it, and you know, more flavor, more good, right? And last but not least, honestly, this is the main reason I wanted to make this recipe, because I really wanna see how blackberry soda tastes. So this is like 250-ish mils. Once again, I'm worried about diluting it down too much. So let's do 6, 9. Let's do 150 mils instead. And once again, I guess this is for me. Again, not exactly ideal cocktail tasting parameters, but yeah, that's nice. Kind of on the tart light side. I like the smoke. I think the smoke adds something kind of fun to that. So let me get this plugged in, fire it up. We'll come back to you when it's dripping. Ooh. Yeah, we'll take a little bit of heads off the top. That's cleaning up already. Interesting, the tequila seemed like it needed less heads than both of the other spirits. Anyway, let's run this out and we'll call Erin back so we can get to tasting. First one is the one made with rye whiskey.
Yum. That is really good. I can totally taste the Szechuan and the walnut.
Interestingly enough, I had a look at the ingredients on the bottle and there's no Szechuan pepper in it.
Really?
Yeah, the walnut comes through really heavy, eh?
What happens when you put that with ice and straw and... Weird, because it tastes like a cocktail.
But you know what it's missing? Is the acidity and the heaviness of the sugar. Like it tastes sweet, right? But you don't have the mouthfeel of...
It'd be really good with ginger ale, something like that, I think.
I can feel that, yeah. I got that almost like Ribena note from it every now and again.
You love your Ribena. It's really good. It's musty and musky.
I think that's coming from the rye whiskey, but you're totally right. Yeah.
It's really good.
So that's actually pretty yum.
Yeah, it's really good.
All right, so this one is the Irish whiskey cocktail. Have a sniff on that, and I'll remind everyone what's it. Rose petal sugar,
weird.
Irish whiskey, coconut water, rose syrup, and lavender bitters. Oh, and lemon oil as well. It's quite lemony, eh?
It is almost scented candle, but...
You're right, yeah.
Like which one? Wow, that's really lemony when you drink it. That's really good too.
Yeah, I think
I like lemon. It reminds me of those lemon lollies. We've been over this before.
Yes.
Those lemon heads? Lemon heads.
Yeah, you're right. I'll be real. I could taste rye whiskey in this. That just tastes kind of like lemon lollies. I am getting some of the rose and the lavender, but does it taste almost soapy to you?
I don't know, it's that candle-y thing, but I don't mind it.
All right, so this one is the Tequila cocktail. There you go. Jasmine oolong tea, lemon juice, lime and coriander bitters, and blackberry soda.
Wow, that's really good too. If you just like made that bubbly without adding anything, it'd be delicious. There's a bug in it.
What? Oh, there is a bug in it. We even had the coins on top.
Yay. Drinking bug water.
Not bug water. Bug spirit. Can you get the smoke in there?
No, I did not get smoke.
Really? Yeah, you're actually right. I kind of don't get the smoke. What I do get is that kind of burnt rubber thing from the
Which I thought was
mezcal.
just like blackberry, dark berry of some sort.
Yeah, I can see that. It does kind of blend with it.
That's really good. Hilarious that you distilled a whole cocktail.
I'll be real with you. All three of these are better than I thought any of them would be.
All good.
If I had to pick one that I think actually had legs to turn this into something, I would say this one.
I would pick that one.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
It doesn't need anything. I don't think so.
Oh, like by itself?
Yeah. Like literally just put it with tonic and drink it and it'd be delicious.
All right, so people at home, let us know if you've tried anything like this. It's kind of a weird one. It turned out way better than I expected, and I feel like there's something to this. I feel like we should use this in some way, shape, or form. I have no inspiration whatsoever.
It'd be a fun project. You can distill your favorite cocktail. Like,
Yeah.
you have a favorite cocktail, just distill it. It'd be fun.
Yeah.
And then it's kind of ready to go. You don't have to make it. Just add some tonic.
That's
is
true.
what I would choose. Add some tonic to it or something bubbly.
Yeah. I don't know. If you have any ideas, let us know in the comments. And we will catch you next week when I will actually make that absinthe. Hopefully. Maybe.